Secretary Donnelly, a study was sponsored by the Naval Air Systems Command to identify problems with counterfeits in the avionics electronics supply chain, and they found a large number of problems. I assume that those problems would also be reflected with the Air Force. And these companies have moved overseas. The study found that most counterfeits originated in Asia and were not discovered until the parts were returned as defective or they actually failed. And I would like to know what plans you have to look for this. Do you plan to track the suppliers of counterfeits? And will there be any consequences for suppliers or manufacturers?
Ma'am, I'm not familiar with the details. I do know that the results of the Navy study are available and have been exploited by Air Force personnel and Air Force Materiel Command. We are aware of the problem and the issue, and I'd like to get a more complete answer for you for the record.
Okay, I would appreciate if you do that. This seems to be an ongoing problem in so many areas, but this one obviously will have enormous impact on the well-being and the safety of our troops, and in addition, ripping off the American taxpayer again, which seems to have become a chronic condition.
And Congresswoman, if I might just add, I'm sure you're aware that there have been several prosecutions related to this sort of activity, and that certainly is, we're part of that process as well.
Well, then maybe I should ask you, please, do you have some system for rooting this out, and are you creating, or do you have a database to keep the names of the offenders and to make sure that they don't receive any contracts?
We'll provide that for the record, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. My second question continues about contractors in theater. I just came back from Afghanistan last week. I was absolutely horrified to hear reports once again of contractors behaving badly and some of the resulting problems that they have. And so I wanted to know, do you have enough resources in theater? Do we have enough people, actually enough people on the ground to pay attention to these projects and to collect the information and to prosecute? The number of prosecutions seems very, very small compared to the number of stories that we have.
I am aware, Congresswoman, that the Air Force has, Air Force contracting personnel in particular, have increased their numbers in theater in the past several years, and were part of the, if you will, the fix-it team that came in to beef up the contracting capability in theater following some of the early problems that the Army and others experienced. The challenges out there are significant, but I do think we have put the resources against the problem to get it under control.
Okay, do you feel you have enough expertise inside, or do you need to get more contractors to?
My understanding is that we have accelerated the number of Air Force contract personnel, contracting personnel from our acquisition workforce that we deploy regularly to the theater. In fact, this has now become a stressed career field for the Air Force because of a career field that is normally not deployed, having to perform more deployments, more rotations into the theater to support this capability.
And in fact, Congressman, they're on a one-to-one rotation scenario, one period of time at home to one period of time deployed. That's the level of effort that the Air Force is committing to this undertaking.
I guess the question I'm asking is, if we're sitting here in 2 years or 4 years, will we hear what we heard for the past couple of years, which is we did not have enough people to keep track of this. And so if we need more people, if you don't have enough people on the ground, or you don't feel confident that we actually can start watching out for the taxpayer and the troops, this would be the time to say it. And you're saying that you feel confident that we have enough people to catch this now.
Let us go back and sort of discuss this in terms of the demand signal downrange and get you an answer for the record.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank both of you